Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Stop Viewing Social Media Like an Iceberg. I'm Sarah Duffy, the marketing manager here at Intronis, and I'm happy to be moderating today's session. Today, I am joined by Stuart Crawford, CEO of Ulistic, and Susan McCone, client relationship manager at Ulistic. Before we get started, let's just do some quick housekeeping. During the webinar, if you have any questions, feel free to share them using the questions or chat panel to the right of the GoToWebinar screen. At the conclusion of the webinar, you will be prompted to complete a brief survey. Please take a moment to tell us what you think as we continuously improve the content and quality of our online events. Now, without further ado, I'd like to hand it over to today's presenters. Take it away, Stuart.
Hey, thanks, Sarah. Good morning for all people on the West Coast. Good afternoon for all my friends on the East Coast. I forgot that I'm in California right now, so it's still morning here. I'd like to welcome you to today's webinar. Like Sarah mentioned, today, our topic is Stop Viewing Social Media Like an Iceberg. Couldn't come up with a better title, so that's kind of what I went with, because I got picturing about marketing and how managed service providers use social media today. And I thought, it is very much like a tip of the iceberg. They're only seeing a little bit of what the power of that social media and part of it as a marketing strategy can bring to their organization. So, we need to stop looking at social media and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter as tools of the younger generation. Is very much a powerful marketing platform that we can take advantage of in our managed service companies today. And I'd like to introduce my partner in crime, Susan McCool. She is one of our client account managers. And Susan also brings a number of years of experience working marketing for a number of different industries. And one of her focus areas has been on social media over the last little while. So, Susan, why don't you introduce yourself quickly, just so the people in the MSP space get to know who you are.
Well, I'm Susan McCool. I've been here with Ulistic now for a few months. I'm enjoying my role working with several clients all over the world. It's been great. Before that, I worked as a marketing director with different companies. I also worked for about 30 years in radio broadcasting management there. So one of the reasons that I became so involved in social media was because we all heard it over and over and over again. Well, it's for the kids, it's for the kids, for the kids. Being the mom of 5 kids, I saw my kids actively involved in it, but I also saw me becoming involved in it because they were, and then I found that there were other people my age involved in it. And that there's so you're definitely right. It's like the more you know about it, the more you see there is to know. So it's amazing, and it's, to me, just intriguing, all of the things that are available for us as advertisers now in social media that we could never access before. Knowing who we're reaching and how to reach them is amazing.
So, Susan, I know that we work with a number of different MSPs globally, like you mentioned, and you already kind of addressed some of the I would say the pushback that we receive. Is that they don't see social media as a platform, and I'll use that word platform because just like direct mail and email marketing and telemarketing, it is a great platform. But some of the feedback that we receive is that they say, "Hey, my clients aren't on Facebook or my clients aren't on Twitter." What are you seeing when you're working with MSPs today?
It's so not true. I mean, I think that's one of the biggest challenges that I've faced working with Ulistic and really targeting the MSP world is that you're exactly right. Everyone's saying, "Oh, my clients aren't on social media," but they are. One of the struggles I had when I first started was trying to get the owners of these great MSPs to understand that you need to readjust your thinking. Most owners, most business owners, especially if they are a business owner of a decent sized business, they're busy. They're reassigning these tasks to somebody further down their line. And trust me, they're on social media. So, when you're looking at who's going to be the first person to go out and look for a new IT company or a new MSP, it's not going to be the CEO of a company. I know what that's like, even in our own company. When Stuart needs something, he's got people. And those people go and find him the information. They come back with a couple of companies and say, "Okay, we've looked at everybody out there. These are the 2 that we recommend." But that research starts on a basic level, and we all do it. Everybody's on social media. Recently, for a project, I just finished my master's in public relations, and for a project, I had to do some very intensive research into Facebook. Facebook alone, over 90% of people have an active Facebook account. Now, when they say active, and they may not be in there every day, but they're in there usually once a week. Of those 90% that are using Facebook, over 80 of them check Facebook before they do anything else in a day. So you wake up, you're looking at your phone, you're looking at your computer, you're seeing what did I miss. It's because nobody wants to be left out. Everybody wants to know what everybody else is doing. And Facebook has given us the ability to not just know that about the people in our own immediate world, but the people that we don't even know, really. You touch base, you connect with people. How many of you have friends on Facebook that you've never met and probably never will meet, but you ran across them in a group, or you ran across them through another friend, and now you share a common interest and you are friends? And that's what social media is. It builds relationships, and we all want to do business with what? Friends. So you want to find somebody you can trust, and that's what social media is about.
Well, I'm a CEO of a 25-person company. I could tell you that what Susan's saying is 100% true. I don't make decisions anymore. Why? I have the final decision-making authority. So, but I say, Sean or Susan or Melissa, come with me with 3 companies that we can look at, and then I ask them, which one do you guys like the best? And that's the one you guys like, then I'll make the decision to go with. And now if I have the veto card on something else, I may use it, but rarely does that come up. And they're 100% right that I may have the final authority to say yes or no, but that influencer role, that person doing the research, although they may not have the power to say yes, they definitely have the power to say no. And if you're not engaged with them on the platforms that they want to be engaged with, you may not get invited to the dance. And that's very, very important to realize here, is that, yeah, they are using these social platforms and need to be keep in mind. And, to strengthen another thing that Susan mentioned, my morning routine was something like this. I usually would get up and the first thing I would check is my email. Well, now the first thing I check is Facebook. I don't even go into my email until I check Facebook. And I think that trend is changing now, where more and more people are going to their social media platforms before they go to their telephone messages and their email. And I think that just strengthens everything that you mentioned, Susan. Anything else you want to add to that?
Well, only that you're absolutely right. That is the first stop, because it's all there and it's all relative. Facebook's made it very, very easy for us to hang out on Facebook because they only show us what we want to see. So they don't show you ads that you're not interested in. They follow what you are interested in. You're seeing only what you want. It's a comfortable place for you. Serious intrusion into our mind, even from friends and family. If you didn't know they were calling, you don't want to be bothered unless they've scheduled it. You immediately say, why don't you text me? Why didn't you message me? So it really is the place that you can go connect with people where they're going to see it on their time. They're going to connect with it when they want to. And that's a good thing. It's an important thing for us as marketers to understand, and to also understand that when it comes to what we do, when it comes to IT and MSPs and in the computer world and the technology, we would like everybody to be as knowledgeable as we are, or I will say as most of the clients that we serve are, and we'd like them to be as connected, but most aren't. Most people out there that are tasked with the job of finding an MSP are not as knowledgeable. They don't want to do all the research. They don't want to look at every single fine detail. They just want to be able to say to someone else, who do you use? Do you like them? And are they good? So where does that happen? Yeah. It's going to happen in social media. So you want to have your name out there. You want to be the person that they're recommending. You want to be somebody they can connect with right there on social media that they don't have to go and track down, because that's where it starts. It all starts right there. This isn't what's your favorite restaurant and somebody's going to go into a lot of discussion about it. This is who's handling your IT. Are they good? Are they reliable? Are they affordable? It's just questions that are asked on social media. So when they connect with you, they already feel like you're a friend because you were referred by a friend.
Yeah, and social media is definitely one of those platforms that is replacing the telephone call to their friends or the locker room conversations at the YMCA. So it's definitely just expanding that whole world. And we actually have an example this morning from our Facebook group for MFPs where somebody went on Facebook to our group, asked a question. They know somebody who provides service in a certain part of the country, and everybody was able to jump on and say, yeah, I know this guy, or I know this guy, give this guy a call. So, there is business transacting on social media, which is great. And, I'm not even going to break down the platforms. We're only going to focus on Facebook today, because I believe if I was a betting man, which I like to gamble from time to time, I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna put all my chips in on Facebook right now, because that's where people's attention is. I know probably some people are saying, yeah, what about LinkedIn and all these other ones? Yeah, that's fine. LinkedIn's got its purpose, but I went on LinkedIn today for the first time in a week, but I went on Facebook 10 times this morning. So there's attention. You got to put your efforts where the attention is, as Gary Vaynerchuk says. Wherever the attention is, that's where your dollars go for marketing. Susan, is that correct?
That's very correct. And right now they rank, number one is Facebook, no doubt about it. Number two is actually Twitter now. Facebook's coming in further down the line. Or not Facebook, excuse me, LinkedIn's coming in further down the line. LinkedIn was a great idea that just didn't get the attention that it needed. So business owners all hopped on, but they didn't know what to do with it. So it's really become just kind of a place to post resumes, to look for employees, possible employment. It never went much further. I think they're trying to make changes, but they haven't gotten there yet. Facebook's established. It's been around for a long time now. People are comfortable with it. You saw a big surge in Twitter after the elections in the fall because Donald Trump uses Twitter, so everybody jumped on Twitter. But what I'm hearing when I talk to actual real people is that, yeah, I went in there, I figured it out, but it's so hard to use. You don't get a lot of space or time. I like Facebook better. So they're still coming back. Facebook, if you're going to just do one, that's the one to do. That's where you're going to get the most.
And not to discount Instagram and Snapchat. I think we need to figure out those platforms. They're still developing. But definitely, yeah, if you're a savvy marketer, you want to start figuring these platforms out as well. Because one of the things that really excites me about Snapchat is I love the geo filter feature on Snapchat, because now I can go to the small business expo, in my town, buy up the proximity around that venue, and own everything on Snapchat. And you know what? Yeah, sure. The younger generation are figuring it all out. But guess what? I learned about the I-85 bridge collapse in Atlanta on Snapchat.
Yep.
So there are people using these tools.
They definitely are there. It's just, I think that what you're finding is they just haven't matured to the point that Facebook has. Facebook's gone through a lot of struggles to get where they are today. A lot of trial and error has brought them to this point. They've worked hard to be able to offer the proper platform to make sure that people are comfortable using Facebook and to make sure that it is of value. You have to remember that when Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook, there was no way for him to make any money off of it. It was just, it grew. There's no way for him to make any money. For him to start, he had to get effective. He had to make people understand that it would work, and it does work. So this is why they put a lot of time and effort into how you can control what you're doing. And if you've never used Facebook advertising and you don't understand fully, I mean, you don't just slap an ad up there and hope somebody sees it. You are actually telling people, or telling Facebook where to show your ad. So it's only going to show it to the people that you asked for, the people in your geographic location, the age group that you've asked for. You can narrow it down by everything. You can narrow it by technologies or by job titles. You can do whatever you want. You just have to be careful that you know that what you are getting is what you want. I had a client that asked for all CEOs. Well, again, those CEOs don't necessarily make these decisions. They're not going to take time to click on your Facebook ad. So maybe it's not the CEOs you want. So make sure that you're having discussions with anybody who's helping with your marketing to understand your demographic before you go there, because you'll get your demographic. You have to make sure that's who you need to reach, though.
So I was talking with Alex Rogers at Chartech this week, because I'm out here in Bakersfield right now. And I think that's the number one mistake most MSPs make, and I will put this on the record. Stop marketing the CEOs. Yeah, they may have the final decision-making authority, but they don't have the time to look at your marketing. And when I say stop, I mean, okay, not necessarily stop completely, but slow down. Start looking at the rank and file people, bringing in your marketing to the director, the director of marketing or the director of sales, the operation people, the finance people, and tailoring your message that way. So again, on social media platforms, you can actually figure out who all these people are and target your message that way. So your message about, are your marketing systems letting you down? or not getting the sales revenue you need. We have better IT systems that can help realize your sales and revenue targets. That stuff gets attention, and you may have your first time appointment may be with a director of sales or a marketing manager, but guess what? That marketing manager has the ear of the CEO, and then get you that face time that you want. So yeah, don't necessarily stop, but slow down your marketing that everybody wants to loose up meeting with the CEO. Guess what? You ain't coming to me as Ulistic CEO, as a marketer. You ain't getting any of my time without getting qualified by one of my team members first, because I'm a busy guy and I don't have time to listen to your pitch unless it's absolutely something I need. That's the thing. It has to be dire. It has to be a dire emergency for me to get involved. But other than that, Melissa, Sean, Sarah, Susan, all my team members, they're going to bring ideas and strategies to me that I need to invest in, and your potential clients are looking the same way. So Susan, we can talk about theory all day long. Let's get in and show people how we use Facebook to market MSPs and what they should be doing on a daily, if not at least on a daily basis, if not multiple times throughout the day. How's that sound?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let me go ahead and set up my demo here. So I'm going to exit out of here. All right, so right now I'm in Facebook. Your standard Facebook screen. You got your, if you're on your list here, you can see your sample thing. There's a picture of my dogs and all the pictures. There's a picture of me and Susan getting ready for this webinar. Some other things. Just your standard Facebook page, right? But I'm not worried about my Facebook page per se. But I can tell you this, is that if you are not engaging with your clients on Facebook, you definitely should be. You should be putting in every single name of your clients and connecting with them on Facebook. I know there's some naysayers already out there saying, but Stuart and Susan, I don't want my personal life being shared with my clients. Okay, I get that. Get over it. Everybody has a personal life. I've had clients make decisions to work with me and not work with me because I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. I've had people come to me and say, Stuart, when it came down to it, the only reason I chose Ulistic, because everything else was the same, is you're a Bills fan. Honest people said that, or they liked them, or we had the same musical taste, or we had like the same movies. Again, business is about doing business with people. So if you can find common ground sometimes with people on sports or music or hobbies or activities, that's where Facebook comes in. Facebook gets people to see the real you. I have pictures of my dog. So I have pictures of my son and I at a football game in Buffalo, pictures of when I got married. I have all that good stuff on here. People get to see all that and, can get to know me as a human being, okay? The only thing I would stress, if you are very political one way or another or have extreme views one way or another, you may want to tone that down just a little bit because, again, sometimes that may have a negative impact on your business. But for all sake, I believe in full transparency, and I encourage my team, every one of my team members, to become friends and make contact with every one of our clients and prospects. I run the risk of somebody leaving one day and starting their own business and maybe taking that business. But if my client leaves because of that, I have bigger problems, not necessarily because they're friends on Facebook. Susan, anything you want to add here?
No, the only thing that I will add is if you are absolutely adamant, and some people are, that you just really want your personal life to stay personal, the only thing you need your personal account for is to set up your business account. You do have to start with a personal account, though. So if you're not comfortable sharing your personal information, you don't have to friend somebody there, but you do have to friend them through your business page. So you do still have to put the time in, you still have to make the connections. But I agree with Stuart, if you can get over it, and I know I've dealt with a couple of people who can't, they just aren't comfortable with it, but if you can get over it and move on, the best way to do that is to be friends with someone, to go ahead and friend people. And you don't have to blindly friend somebody either. You can look at their profile, you can make sure they're legit, you can make sure it's somebody you want to be friends with before you actually do it, but do take the time to do it.
Yeah, and same goes for LinkedIn and other things too. I highly recommend that you become connected with all your clients and prospects on LinkedIn. So what we say here on Facebook also goes to LinkedIn and other social media platforms, okay? So we're just focusing on Facebook today. Again, where there's attention goes our effort. So that's why we're focusing on Facebook. So one of the things that we do at Ulistic to help our clients, obviously, is the use of Facebook groups. Facebook groups is very, very powerful. I love Facebook groups, but here's the secret, folks, of running a successful group. It's called engagement. So if you don't have the time to get involved and engage in groups, then don't do groups, okay? There's two groups, obviously two types of groups, ones that you manage and ones that you're a member of, and they're both equally as good groups to join, okay? So this is our group on MSP and IT services marketing and sales group. This group here is a group for MSPs to get involved, and you can see all the engagement that's here. There is lots of conversations on things, on people asking questions on Facebook. And this is a sign of a very active group. Okay, so some of the things that you can do inside of a group, as well as other parts in Facebook, you know, we do a lot of webinars for clients. So we can actually stream webinars right from, in this case, Zoom, right to Facebook Live. And Facebook Live is great too. And I don't know if I'm gonna have time to get into Facebook Live today, but that is something else that we should really be looking at. And we'll, again, if we run out of time today, we'll figure out something so we can get that education over to people. But Facebook groups is a very, very powerful tool. And you can look anywhere on the internet. I'm going to open up another tab here, and I'm going to go into Facebook again on another tab, and I'm going to do a search on Atlanta. Let's say I'm running a business in Atlanta. I can do a search on Atlanta here, and it's, of course, when I want to do a demo here, it never works. Here we go, Atlanta business owners, and I can do a search on. Look at this, small business owners of Atlanta. There's 15,000 members. So for those people that say that business owners aren't on Facebook, here's 15,000 of them who are in the city of Atlanta. So I can go in here and I can look at, you know, again, the business owners in Atlanta group. Yeah, you know what? Sure, there's going to be some very small businesses, but there's also going to be some bigger businesses in here, right? And this one here is an example of a Facebook group that you can actually share information on, and you know, and get involved in the conversation. Okay, so that's just one. That's just a general business one. You can actually look on, you know, groups for, if I wanted to focus on computer security. Okay, so let's do a search on computer security. Here comes some groups that talk about computer security. I'm going to focus on groups here. You know, so if I wanted to get on this one has 10,000 members. Or if I was a website guy, you know, WordPress security. Here's another one, 32,000 members for IT security. So there's, you know, different types of groups for different interests that you can join and be a member of. So again, the trick here is getting involved in the local ones. Again, going back to if I go back to Atlanta, maybe I don't want to go into that Atlanta business owners one. I can find other groups here that are smaller in size that may have more of a focus. Okay, so I'm a big fan of Gary Vaynerchuk, and my thinking is 1 is greater than 0. Even if they have 4 or 5 people as members of the group, you don't know who those 4 or 5 people are. One of them may be the CEO of a company that you want to do business with. So, so that's you know, that's groups. Groups are very powerful. Susan, anything to add on that? I'm not sure if we're hearing Susan. Susan, anything you want to add?
Sorry, I think I lost you. Yep. Only that, again, you went over that kind of fast, and there are so many advantages to joining groups. Once you've joined the group, you have to participate, just like Stuart said. Whether you create your own group or whether you join a group, you want to be posting. Take a few minutes to post something in there. You know, when we have a situation like we did with WannaCry, post a link to your website. Say, you know, get more information on what you can do to prevent this from happening to your business here. You can put your website right in there. You can post it. You can share something from your page or your site on there. Stuart does a lot of that for clients, and it's very effective. That's one of the reasons you want to use groups, but you also, not only the big groups do you want the smaller groups. Look around you and remember that groups aren't always named what you think they're going to be. So it might be the Ross Street business section that you're looking for. They may actually have a group that's called that. Sometimes you have to know your area to know where you'll find the group it is that you're looking for.
Yeah, so here's an example, right? So Susan mentioned, you know, sharing information. So we have a client in Atlanta, Centerpoint IT. So I can go in here and put 9 tips to stop WannaCry, right? I can put that in here and I can put a link to it. And, again, nice thing about some of these, you gotta have some creative imagery as well to get people's attention. But that's it, simple enough. I just posted a link back to our website for people that want to learn about Wanaka. Now, that's fast because I just wanted to show you for the demo of it. But I would put a bit more information in there, maybe entice them in. But that's one way that you can use groups. So you can become an administrator of your own group, or you can join other groups and become, and then own that, and participate in that group.
And
so
one thing that
that's Facebook groups. Go ahead, Susan.
And one thing that you want to remember is some people say, well, if they're not on the page, they're not going to see it. But just because this just happened, I'm going to share it. So you posted that, Stuart, and I got the notification that just popped up that said Stuart Crawford just posted in Atlantic Business Room. So even if somebody's right, and even if somebody's not on Facebook right then, because I'm not on Facebook right now, notifications still go out. So if you're friends with somebody and they respect your opinion, they respect your knowledge and your expertise, they see that you've posted, there's something going on, they're like, oh, you know what, I do want to know what he has to say about this. This is important right now. They'll go look at it. So they're getting notifications, even if they're not sitting there on that page. You can't beat that. That's invaluable.
And here's the other thing too, is I can click on the members here, and I can start going through the members and see if there's any, who may be on here that I may want to link up with. So let's say if I want to find this Christopher guy here, I can click on him and find him, and find, he's the CEO at Modernize. I could do research on that and see, how big that company is, right? Or I can go through again. With anything, you're going to find all kinds of junk, right? There's going to be the vitamin sales reps and the beauty people and all that. But again, you got to go through here and find out who may be, the right fit for what you want to look at, and go through and do your research. So, not everybody, you're not going to always want to get to the CEO. Sometimes you may want to go through, somebody who just works, like this marketing person at First Home Mortgage Corporation. Maybe you call Park here and have a conversation with them. So these are the nice thing about groups, again, and you can get the trick to this is to get very involved in the groups. Susan, before we move to anything else, anything else we want to cover on groups?
No, I think you've about hit it. I mean, the one thing to really keep in mind with Facebook groups, the thing with Facebook is there are no gatekeepers. When you try to get in the door at a company, there's always that gatekeeper, that person at the desk that's, sorry, you can't see him, you can't talk to him, you can't get through to them. But there are no gatekeepers on Facebook. So you can always find a way, and a group's a great way to do it.
Yeah, and that's a good point that you make, is that I can direct message anybody on Facebook if they have that service enabled, right?
Yep. They're always there, and you can always find out everything you need to know. Even if, I hate to say it, but everybody does it. Even if it's just a matter of researching that person. And, I want to know a little bit more about Stuart. Yep, I looked at his page. He's a Buffalo Bills fan. All of a sudden I can message him, talk about the Bills. I'm not approaching him about business, but it's just something we have in common. And maybe further down the road, I talk to him about business. But it's always a great door opener.
Exactly. So if you want my attention, you're not going to get my attention by telling me that you can do security for WordPress sites. You're going to get my attention by, hey, what do you think of the Bills picks at the draft? I'll probably respond to that message versus somebody trying to pitch me on security of my firewalls and network. That's a good point you raised there, Susan. Okay,
and that's right. And the common denominator is that you want to deal with friends. It's not all business. We put up walls the minute we hear business. Everybody does it. So if you can break down those walls and connect someplace else, you're going to backdoor and you're going to get in there.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's move on. Let's move on to a few other things here because we got limited time today. So the other thing I want to talk about is pages. Now, I'm sure everybody has a company page for their company, right? We all got those, and we're probably not even using them the way we want to use them. But one thing I recently learned about pages is also to create community pages. So here's an example in Raleigh, North Carolina, of a community page focused on computer security questions and answers. So this one here is for people that have questions and answers about computer security. Again, what you're looking at doing here, if you're running these, again, engagement is very important. But you can post articles, and then when you post on here, the nice thing about posting as the group it comes up as the Raleigh Computer Security Questions and Answers Group, not Stuart Crawford, the marketing manager at Ulistic. It's now, you strip away that brand as the MSP business owner, and you're really just the facilitator of this page. And chances are that people will join a page that they can feel that they're not going to get a sales pitch from constantly, versus, following a company page. Susan, anything you want to add to pages? I know you do a lot of stuff with Facebook pages.
Just again, to make sure you keep that door open for others to post, because exactly like Stuart said, you don't want people to feel that it's all just a pitch group for you. So make sure that it's a group that you can keep up with and that you can involve others in, so that there are things happening besides you.
Exactly. And you can do a lot. You can do a lot of things in the groups too. So, there's you can create events, and you can do video again through here, and all kinds of good stuff. Like, if we don't have a lot of time on here, but creating a page is really simple. If you go to your personal profile, I think on the if you go on the main page here, you can go to pages. You can click create a page. You want to do a cause or a community right here, and you can put anything. So managed services. I'm just going to do it for you guys. Managed services, marketing, questions and answers. It's not Ulistic. It's not anything else. It's just open for all people who have questions about MSP marketing. And you see right there, the page is pretty much set up. It doesn't take 3 clicks. So very, 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 very easy to do. Now I got to go back now after this and finish this. So I got it set up. But you can see it's pretty straightforward to do.
And remember, when you're working in your own area, if you only want to work geographically in your own area and you want to keep things concentrated, name those groups for that area. So for instance, you can put your county name in there, you can put your city name, whatever it is you want to put in there. But if you concentrate that, you'll get more people that are just in your area rather than nationwide and globally.
And here's an example, like Atlanta cybersecurity discussion and questions. Right here, example, this one's here for people in Atlanta who have questions about cybersecurity. So if you have, if you are a cybersecurity expert, you can go and lend some expertise here and put all this information on here about cybersecurity. Okay, very straightforward. All right, Susan, I think that covers pages pretty much. How we doing for time here? I think we got about about another 10 minutes. I do want to stress. I do want to get into advertising, because I think advertising is a huge opportunity here for managed service providers that they're missing out on.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm gonna close down these windows, so I don't need all these extra windows open. Sorry, I'm gonna start from scratch, just in case you're brand new getting into Facebook advertising. You're not going to cancel and stop doing your Google advertising, your Google remarketing. You're still going to do all that stuff. You're still going to carry on there. But this one here is purely like Facebook. Again, Susan mentioned earlier, you can really target people based on Facebook advertising. So if you don't know how to get into Facebook advertising, you just go to your Explore menu here, and you'll find your advertising ads manager in your Explore menu. You can click on that, and it brings up the ads manager. Now you have to make sure you have your credit card information in there, or hooked into your PayPal account. But you can see we're running some ads. We got 4 ads running right now, 2 in Raleigh and 2 in Atlanta. We're running a webinar tomorrow for WannaCry, so we're pushing that out through Facebook advertising. You see that we have 10 click-throughs already for 1,400 reach. Again, very targeted reach that we're doing here, and it's cost about $4 a click. A lot cheaper than Google ads are right now. And this one here is for Microsoft CIE event we're doing in Atlanta, and we just started this one up. We got 1 click on 252 reach. So we're going to go ahead and start it out. Again, I assume that you've got your credit card information already set up. Creating an ad is very simple. All you have to do is create ad. Simple enough. So there's 2 types of ads that I like to focus on here. One is conversions. Very simply, that tracks conversions and people that fill out forms and download ebooks. Or there's a traffic ad. Those are the 2 that you're going to spend a lot of time with, either traffic or conversions. For the sake of today's demo, we're just going to do a traffic ad, and I'm going to name it at the bottom here. I'm going to call it Bay Area. We're doing this one for San Francisco, Bay Area IT services. Just something that I can very easily keep an eye on and click continue. Susan, feel free to jump in on any time that you have some insight to add here.
Okay.
So as I'm loading up the ad, I'm going to create my ad set name. I'm just going to keep it same name, Bay Area IT services. I'm going to direct them to a website or messenger. So I have a landing page I want people to convert on. I'm going to skip over the offer right now. I'll come back to that perhaps later. So a couple of things that you can do here for your custom audience. So what we do with our clients when we're working with our clients is we actually run a few other programs. We do some email marketing and we do some direct mail. I can go in here. If I had a list, I can create this list here. This one here has 8,000 people. I pull that off of an email list that I have, and I can use that list and market to those 8,000 people. Or I have my website. I have some website visitors here for the Holistic site, but these ones here are not relevant in this area, so I'm gonna come back to that here, and I'm going to and here I may just want to these are just for your custom audiences and lists that you may have. So I'm going to start off right now and go into location. So I mean, this one here is in the San Francisco Bay Area, so I'm going to go and target by location, people who live in that location. And I'm going to type in, let's say Burlingame, California. And I'm going to do a radius. Yeah, that 25 miles should cover. That covers everything I want to do. Burlingame, California, 25-mile radius. Maybe if I want to go into San Jose, I'll type down San Jose, California, and do another 25-mile radius. Maybe I don't want to go that broad. Maybe I'll just do 10 miles and just narrow it down a little bit more. So now I have my ads kind of zeroing in on these two areas here, the Burlingame area and the San Jose area of the Bay Area. One of the things I have found too is the age. I'm going to just pump up my age a little bit, maybe to 25 to 65, just to keep the teenagers out of my ads because they're not necessarily going to be, in a position to make a decision or even in the business world. So I'll just pump that up to 25, get that mid edge of the millennial generation. I'm going to take all genders and I'm going to put English. So I want English people speaking English. I don't want I don't need Spanish or any other language here. I just want pure English. Okay. So I've got my demographics here and location and my other age, genders, and languages. The next area I want to do is start looking at my detailed targeting. So this is when you can get really particular on who you want to go after. So I can choose I'm going to go to behaviors. And I'm going to choose B2B, and I'm going to choose company size. So who am I after? I want small to mid-sized companies. So I'm going to choose businesses between 10 to 49 employees, maybe 50 to 99, and I'm just going to stay there. And that gives me approximately, daily reach 3,100 to 9,300 people, estimating 34 to 160 clicks. So that gives me, I can narrow this down even more, or I can broaden it up a little bit more, based on, what I want to go. But I'm comfortable with 10 to 49 employees, 50 to 99 employees. Okay. So I think I may have missed a step up here. I think I'm good right now. Yeah. So I'm good right now. So that covers that, for the demographics. Susan, anything you want to, because you do a lot of Facebook ads for our clients, anything you want to expand on here?
No, you've done really good. And remember, you can target the if you wanted to, and you could say 25 to, and you can get as detailed as you want here, and you should. This is your money, and they're going to click, and you're going to pay for that click. But the important thing is you want the conversion. And if you're not targeting the right people, you won't get it.
Exactly. So I can also do Facebook pages. And I can do friends of people who like our page. So I'm going to choose, I know I got a page up here. I got a San Francisco Bay. This is one of the reasons why I like those special interest pages. I have a page called the San Francisco Bay Area Computer Questions and Answer page. So I can actually target my ads here to friends of people who like that page. So again, another way just to reach out to potential people and find them. Okay. Here in placements, I just kind of keep it at automatic placements. And my budget, I'm going to just set it as $20 a day. And I can also set, when I want to start and stop it. I'm just going to let them run continuously. So we're looking at about $140 a week if if we exhaust our budget all day and go there. Okay. So I'm looking for link clicks. I'm just gonna leave all this automatic. Scheduling. I'm gonna run my ads on a schedule because I know. It's not letting me click on the schedule here for some reason. Okay, I'll just figure out why that's not letting me do that. But I would normally want to run my my ads on a schedule just because I know that in the middle of the night I don't want to exhaust all my budget in the middle of the night. But I'll leave all the standard features here for now. I go ahead and click continue. Now it lets me come up and pick my my ad, what my ad looks like. So remember I had that group, the San Francisco computer user group. I'm going to tie this ad to this group. Now, Susan, I know you like to do a lot of tying ads to pages as well, right?
Yes, it's a good way to go. You know who you're getting then.
Yep, exactly. Now, whenever possible on the next stage here, you always want to do a single video. Now, if you don't like doing a video, get over it. Video is always the best way to go. Facebook wants video. So use video whenever possible. If you absolutely must not do video, then go to a single image and use a single image. Okay. You can upload as many images as you want, but and then Facebook will let you do some testing on different ones. But for this sake of this demo, I'm just going to use a single image. And now you can browse images from your own image library. Unless you're getting it from an approved stock photography place, you want to be careful. You can always use free stock images here as well. If Facebook has sanctioned them, then you're pretty confident you're not going to violate any copyright. But I already have an image already picked out here. I think I put in my Intronis one here. I have this one I created here called Knock Out Your Business Computer Issues. I'm going to upload that image. Now, you got to be careful that you don't go too heavy on the text because Facebook will not show ads that have too much text in the image. While I'm loading that up, Susan, anything you want to add here?
Just exactly what you just said. Keep the text simple. Again, people don't want to read it. You've got to get their attention quickly. That's why video works really well. And if you're not going to use video, if you're going to use an image and you're going to use something other than that, you want to keep it simple because they won't read a lot. They'll scroll right past it. They'll keep going into they find something that does catch their attention quickly.
Exactly. And here's the problem with doing demos on the fly. I have to go and fix this one later because I was missing, my image was too big. So I just scaled it right now to show the punching match. All right. So you want to have, so one of the things I always encourage with advertising is you want to have a unique URL for everybody to land on. That's why so you can measure them. So I have this one I created here, this landing page I already created. I'm going to go ahead and put that in my ad here. So BAComputersolutions.com/Bay Area IT Services. I'm going to throw that in there as my landing page for this ad. So now this is where the tricky part is. You want to, this is where you need to have some savvy marketing skills and be able to write good copy. So your headline is always going to attract people. So as they're scrolling through Facebook, your headline really has to jump out, right? So your image is one thing, and then your headline is the next thing. So I'm going to use this one to go with the boxing theme here. Knock out business computer problems forever, something like that, right? Okay, some very simple headline to get people's attention. Now I already created some text here. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this text in here. Again, it's all direct response type text. I'm going to paste that in here. I'm going to go and clean it up a little bit. And this is all designed for direct response. What I want to do is get people to take action. And I know some of you are saying, well, Stuart, that text is very long. It's long. It's purposely that long. Okay. So I'm going to put that in here. And you want to also check your ads and see how they look at it on different other platforms. So this is the desktop feed, the mobile feed, the featured phone, instant articles, the right side column, Instagram, and the audience network banner. Okay, so there's more. So you want to make sure your ad looks good on all of them. Let's assume they do. Okay, and if you had a Facebook pixel set up, you can click your Facebook pixel. Again, I don't have time to go into setting it out today, but if you had one, you can click that and choose your default pixel. Okay, so that's pretty much. You can also do, you also put a display link here if you had one. BAcomputersolutions.com. Okay, and that shows up something in there it doesn't like. Oh, I see why. Okay, that'll also show up in your ad. Okay, right here. Susan, before I hit the place order, anything you want to add here?
No, it looks good. I know this is really confusing to everybody who's watching you do it, though. So, and don't be afraid of it. Just go in and play with it. You haven't done anything until you place your order, so you can actually play around with this as much as you want and get comfortable with it.
And the one other thing too, Susan, before you put any ads up online, one of the reasons why a lot of people don't get any response from it is they don't have a unique call to action. So I call, Robin Robbins will call it something like a crazy call to action. You want to have some you want to have some reason for them to take action. So you want to have I always like offering some sort of discount to get people to click on it. Maybe it's, I have a telephone company I work with that gives like 3 months of free phone service. Because, what does that lead cost you, right? And, some people are not against giving out free service, but what does that lead cost you to get? So sometimes it's easier to give away a little bit of service in order to get that person in there and look at the long-term value of what that business is going to bring. Before you know it, that 3 months of free service doesn't cost you anything. So you want to do the economics and think about, what is the cost for you to get that lead? So you want to do something, I call it an insanely great offer. You want to offer some sort of great offer for them to take action right now. What is that lead going to cost you? And that's why most of us fail on our online advertising, because we have nothing unique to offer people. So you want to make sure you have something unique to offer. In this case here, we're offering some sort of for a special on-site initial consultation, and we'll give a free gift. Okay.
And remember, make it a good offer too. Remember to make it an interesting offer to your businesses, not just to you. So, that's great. A free consultation is great. You can even, I've seen people do an offer where, if I can't provide better IT service at a better price for you, lunch is on me. Things like that. You want to catch the attention. You want to make it something that people are interested in.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people do offers like, try yourself for 90 days, absolutely free. And if we're not good and we're not taking care of you, you have nothing to lose. I mean, it didn't cost you anything for 90 days. So it really feels down to what you feel comfortable. Actually, I'm not even going to say feel comfortable, because sometimes you got to step out of your comfort zone. You got to do something different than your competitors are doing, and stand out. So, we have guys offering up, free wanna cry consultations this week because it's so fresh in our mind. So you gotta figure things out. I have a client in North Carolina who does a free lunch and learn every single week for a prospect. He will come in, buy lunch, and do a free cybersecurity education for a prospect every single week. He booked now until the end of August, because people want that. So, what it costs for him to do in time and Subway sandwiches is not that big when you look at the total cost of that prospect.
And check your offer. That's the biggest problem I see with Facebook advertising is people think what they're offering is good, but then when they talk to people outside of their business world, it's not good. So if you know somebody who's not involved with you in your business, but is in the business world, then you can say, what do you think of this offer? Would you respond to it? Then don't try to.
Exactly. I think we're
click on it. You need those conversions.
Yeah, we're losing it a little bit, Susan. You're breaking up just a little bit. So we're going to carry on here because we're running really short on time. I'm going to head and place the order here. Now, Facebook's going to take this order, and they're going to review it, and they're going to let me know if it's been successfully approved or not. That'll take, sometimes it takes a matter of minutes. Sometimes it can take up to 24 hours. So kind of come back to Facebook and looking at it in the total big picture of things, is that you want to make sure that you're using these social media tools. You're gone are the days of hoping that people are going to come to you. You have to get up and go to the people, and Facebook and other social media platforms allow us to go to the people. So use groups, use your personal connections, go out there and find people that you want to connect with. Send them, we're not afraid to pick up the phone and call people on a direct message or telemarketing or send them an email. Why not send them a Facebook message? Again, here's the trick. Don't make it overly salesy, because that overly salesy message doesn't work on social media. You want to make sure you're coming from a place of authenticity and willingness to help. And I think that'll pay you huge dividends down the road. So, Susan, I know you've been monitoring the questions, and we are running up to an hour almost now. And I didn't realize it was going to take this much time. But is there any questions that came into the question pane during our session today?
I guess I'm not seeing any. So,
Susan or Sarah, do you see any questions on your side?
There are currently no questions.
Okay. Must have covered everything in detail, or just totally confused everybody.
That's probably it.
So here's what I'm willing to do for everybody who stayed on the call. We only lost 5 people during the whole call, which is great. I mean, that's fantastic. So for those people that stayed right through to the end, what I'm here now, here comes my insanely great offer, right? Everything has got to be a call to action at the end of everything. I'm a marketing person, so I'm always thinking this way. So for those people that stayed to the end of this call, what I'm willing to do, and if you're watching this on the recording, sorry, I can't. This is not open to you. It's only open to people that are on the live call. Got to be respectful of that. You can join my free consulting group, no cost to you. We're going to meet once a month for 3 months, and we're going to go through and do some online advertising training. Again, it's free. It's free for 3 months. There's going to be no upsell at the end. You can, I'm just going to get you started. We're going to a monthly, hour-long call, and every month we'll talk about something new about social media, how you can use social media to help grow your business. I know we threw a lot of stuff here at you on this call, and my intention wasn't to confuse you, more just open your eyes and say, holy smokes, I got to do this. So what we're going to do is you'll meet with Susan and I once a month on a call like this for an hour or an hour and a half, and we'll answer any questions. We'll show you some new stuff on social media. Again, there's no upsell at the end. I think, Susan, you and I can relate that we are way too busy as it is right now.
That's true.
So, so we're not doing this to try to trick you into doing something later. So if you're interested, send an email to info@ulistic.com, and then the subject is monthly social media group, and we'll make sure we'll set up a special Facebook group just for the people that want to be on it, and then you can ask questions in the group there as well. But you'll have once a month, a 90-minute call, go through all the stuff on social media that you need to know to run your business, and go from there. So that's my insanely great offer to people. And if you're interested, send an email to info@ulistic.com, and we'll be more than happy to help you out here. Just going to throw our contact information up here on the screen one more time for people to see it. Again, our main website is here. Go ahead, if you're interested in joining our social media group on Facebook there, more than happy to join there. Again, if you're interested in our monthly consulting group, just send an email to info@ulistic.com, and we'll go from there. So Sarah, unless there's any questions, I think we'll wrap up for today.
Great. Thanks, Stuart. Thanks, Susan. There isn't any questions, so I want to thank both of you for presenting during today's webinar, and I'd like to thank everyone that joined us today. So everyone have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.